Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest, and welcome to June 19, 2025. Bit of a shout out to my father. It is his 53rd birthday, which makes me 23. Yes, I am 23. So shout out to my father, his birthday today. And I would have to say the year I was born, I was probably the best birthday gift ever. Yes, ever. And I am taking to the local pub tonight, just down the road from where we live. So I actually am living with my parents right now for quite a few months. And I'm pretty sure they are loving life right now. I'm loving life right now as well, apart from being a little bit sick, but I am getting better. And I would envisage that I will be better within the next few days. Anyway, it is currently 4:10 p.m. So we have about 52 seconds left of trading today. So if you really want to buy something, even though you're watching this well after the market has closed, but if you really want to buy something and you have a time machine, come back to right now when I'm recording this video and you have about 40 seconds to buy something today. Anyway, so the agenda for today's video. What we'll do is we'll go through the ASX today, have a look at the best and worst performing companies, sectors, indices. We'll go through the top 5 stocks of the day. I have reordered the top 5 stocks because I had a look at the top gainers. And there was a pretty good announcement from this company. I did like it. And then I had a look at the top gainers, and this particular company share price was up over 200%. And I went, well, yeah, that should be bumped up to number 1. It was originally going to come in number 3. I did not think the market would react like this, but I have put this particular company at number 1. And the company coming in at number 1, share price down about 30%. I wanted to talk about that company in a little bit more detail. That is now at number 2. Sorry, Aurelia Metals. And then the other 3 companies, again, fairly quiet when it comes to announcements today. But there was enough to talk about. And then after we go through the top 5 stocks, the chart of the day was a company I was going to feature yesterday. And then the share price had dropped. And I thought, oh no, I'll keep that on the burner. And I thought maybe if the share price had not decreased significantly today, I will feature it as the chart of the day today. And instead, the share price has gone up about 12%. That is EZZ Life Sciences. Okay, so let's get into the ASX today. And I always say this, but intriguing day in the market. The reason I say that is if you ignore the ASX 200 and the All Ords, have a look at the small caps down 1.05%. Tech down almost 1%, and resources down 1.58%. You might have expected a pretty nasty day on the ASX, but no. A bit of a bifurcated market today. In fact, we've seen quite a few sectors up big, quite a few sectors down big. And the reason I know that is because I had a quick look. And yes, 3 sectors or 4 sectors up by more than 0.47%, and 4 sectors down by more than, actually 6 sectors down by more than 0.45%, including 2 sectors down by more than 1%, IT and materials. But today, the banks have been our savior. ASX 200 banks up 1.43%. What's happening there? So it wouldn't be surprising when we have a look at the ASX 20 that the 4 big banks are up between one of the banks is up over 2%. I'm wondering if the reason why the banks have rallied today is because of this bit of news when it comes to our unemployment. So Australia jobless rate steady at 4.1% for 3rd month. That's the only thing I can think of. So the market's thinking, oh, the economy is not that bad. The banks should do fairly well moving forward. But then why did the rest of the market not rally? I don't know. I'm not going to talk about the banks at this point in time. You know my opinion right now when it comes to the valuation. We don't have to go down that route anymore. Anyway, so let's have a look at the ASX 20. And we can actually see if the banks, or which of the banks have had a really, really good day. I suppose all of them had a really, really good day. Yep, CBA up 1.54%, NAB up 1.37%, Westpac up 1.85%, and ANZ only up 0.34%. In fact, at one point today, ANZ was down. And the other 3 banks rallied all day. So that's interesting in itself, because if I had to choose one of the banks right now to invest in, I probably would choose ANZ just based on valuation. But yeah, anyway, I'm not going to talk about the banks anymore. Otherwise, looks like iron ore's had another bad day. BHP down 1.93%. In fact, if we have a look at the worst performing companies, the top 3 worst performing companies, Rio Tinto, BHP, and Fortescue. So that means iron ore just keeps on tumbling. So let's have a look at iron ore. No, it's not that bad. Jeez, market being a little bit silly. What is interesting, I'll go back to this. I did have a look at this morning because uranium was up pretty nicely overnight. And I was thinking, oh, the uranium company should be up pretty big. And I have not had a look at this. So I'm just going to have a quick look at uranium companies just to see if they have rallied today. And no, in fact, most of the bigger companies have gone down today. So I'm not sure what's happening there. Unless uranium price, their rally was during our trading yesterday. No, it wasn't. I have no idea what's happening there. Seems like our companies rallied before uranium prices rallied. And now uranium prices are catching up to, that's not the way it should work. I don't know. Sometimes the market is weird. Anyway, this uranium chart looks so good. I do like this uranium chart, by the way. And maybe now is a time to buy some uranium companies. Just saying. Doesn't mean you have to do it. Anyway, so yeah, Rio Tinto and iron ore have had a bad day today. Rio Tinto down 2.51%. I thought maybe if iron ore had a really bad day, Fortescue would have had a worse day than the other two, but it's had a better day. WiseTech down as well, which is not surprising. And the best performing companies today looks like the banks plus the Aristocrat, Brambles, and Brambles keeps on rallying. I haven't had a look at the chart for Brambles for a while, but it just keeps on popping up as a good performer. And yeah, what a chart. Gee, I'm probably too dismissive of Brambles because this chart looks pretty good, but I'm just wondering if the market is getting a little bit too excited right now and it's primed for a pullback. But maybe P ratio 25.6. I don't know. The chart looks pretty good. The really good breakout, by the way. I still remember this going, oh no, not for me. So that was on the 21st of August on results. So again, beautiful breakout on financial results. This is the definition of a breakout. Bought that day or the next day, and you buying at 17.50, and the share price has gone up at least 33% since then. Okay, so let's be less dismissive of Brambles. Okay, and actually, I was going to say all these companies have done really well, but I put this in order of percentage change. Yeah, if we put in order of market cap, yeah, the second biggest company on the ASX has actually gone down. Okay, on to the top gainers. And I did have a look at this before I started recording. And that's why I reordered the top 5. And I'm glad I did this because coming in number 1, the top gainer of the day is Amplia Therapeutics, up 190%. Oh, it was up over 200% when I did actually look at this. And I just thought, well, it's up over 200% on pretty good turnover. It just has to be the stock of the day. And honestly, I did have a look at this morning and I went, oh, this is not that bad. I actually do like this. And if this is real, it's a breakthrough. It's a really good breakthrough. It's really interesting, intriguing, even though some of the stuff I don't really understand. Otherwise, Hydration Pharmaceuticals Company did have a trading update, but I completely ignored it. I'm sorry, Hydration Pharmaceuticals Company. You had an update and I completely ignored you. And I typically don't ignore these sort of updates, but maybe I shouldn't have. Although I think the reason I ignored it was because the share price was 1 cent. That could be the reason. Anyway, trading update. It looks like they release trading updates every 2 weeks. I'm going to have a quick look at this. They release. I have actually tried one of their products before because it's hydration. It's like a little gel sort of thing or liquid sort of thing. After you go for a run, it rehydrates you, that sort of thing. Anyway, net sales of $308,000 in May 2025 to underpin 5th consecutive month of EBITDA improvement. So EBITDA improvement, not EBITDA positive. Anyway, so do they mention anything about? No, it's still a loss. May EBITDA an audited loss of 127,000. So still loss making. So I'm not taking much away from this. Share price is still really low, and it wouldn't be surprising if the share price fluctuates back down to 1 cent or even below 1 cent. And you just see by this chart, it's not a nice looking chart. So there's another reason why I probably just moved on. Okay, anything else? Raptus. Should I look at Raptus? Fairly low turnover. Now, I can't remember Raptus releasing anything. I could be wrong. Let's have a quick look at Raptus. Raptus. It's a nice name. Oh, they did receive a price query. There you go. Some sort of entitlement offer, pause in trading, price query. So we can move on. X Reality Group. Now, I do own some shares in this one. It's in my super, so a small amount of shares. So I do own quite a few more story stock-like companies, although X Reality Group is verging on being cash flow positive, if not already. And they did release, so I'm a little bit surprised the share price is up, although low turnover. They did release, what was it, some sort of presentation today. And I think it was price sensitive. Yeah, defense conference presentation. I didn't see anything in there to draw me in anymore, but it looks like the share price is up. The chart does not look good. So if I was trading this, I wouldn't be, because this is not a trading chart, nothing like that. I do think it's potentially cheap for what it's trying to do. And it's in a space I really like as well. So this is one of my more story stocked holdings, if that makes sense. More storied stock. I don't think storied is a word. More of a story stock. One of the more story stock holdings I do have. Yeah, that's better. Anything else here of note? Oh, Emiri, another pretty good day for that company. I did like their announcement as well yesterday. And let's go have a look. The top gain is by market cap. Kelsian. I'm pretty sure Kelsian was my chart of the day. Was it? It could have been. MTS, chart of the day, Corona, chart of the day, EML, chart of the day, NEU, chart of the day, EOS. When did I start the chart of the day? I can't remember. For some reason, I just think, for some reason in the back of my head, I just think Kelsian was a chart of the day. Anyway, Kelsian released something yesterday, and I've been waiting for this one to turn a little bit more positive. So I might leave Kelsian as a chart of the day tomorrow. How's that? Because the chart does look good. No, I'll do it today. I'll do it today, and then I can do EZZ tomorrow. Yes, EZZ tomorrow. Anyway, so let's move on. Happened a good day, but XRF Scientific, that was a holding of mine. Then I sold out. I'm not upset that I sold out, because I don't think it could be considered a high quality company. And the chart was in a beautiful uptrend, and then the uptrend did come to an end. So there's no sign of that uptrend. What's the word? There's no sign of that uptrend recommence. Well, it can't really recommence, can it? Because the share price has moved out of the uptrend. Volume has really died off in the last few months too. That's interesting. What else do we have here? Yeah, EZZ up 12.2%. It was down a lot yesterday, up a lot today. So I'll have a look at that tomorrow just to see if the chart is a little bit more interesting. And that's about it. Now on to the top losers. And at the top of the top losers, we're going to have two gold companies. Two gold companies. Share price down for various reasons. And those two companies are Aurelia Metals. This was originally my stock of the day. A really surprising movement in the share price, in my opinion, but there could be reasons behind it. And the other one was Mika Metals. They did a capital raising, share price down 15.71%, below the capital raising price. So that's a little bit concerning when the share price will fall below the capital raising price. So people are willing to sell this below where they could have, well, the placement, it was a placement. So they think that this placement was not good. I don't mind this one from Mika Metals, because this is exactly what management should do. They should raise capital when the share price has risen like this. Now, it is not a trend killer, and I don't mind this raising at all. So it also depends on how they allocate the money. They did mention how they're going to allocate the money, but how successfully they allocate the money. That determines whether this capital raising is a good thing, a long-term good thing for shareholders. But a lot of times when you do see a company capital raise like this, the share price will drop. But I'm sort of not wary, but I'm a little bit, I wouldn't say concerned either, but it is interesting the share price has fallen below the capital raising price at 15 cents. Talk about Aurelia Metals later. Pass Oil did release something, but was that yesterday? For some reason, I think that was yesterday. I could be complete. No, it was today. Oh no, it was yesterday. Capital raising. Yeah, so I did. Oh no, it wasn't that. I saw the operations update. That's why I remember it. Operations update, and they also released a capital raising update. So today, security class suspension from quotation. What the hell does that mean? Okay, so share price down 20% today, down a little bit yesterday. A lot of volume as well. What's going on there? I'm having a look at the chart for this one. Whoa, hello, ugly chart. Hello, ugly chart. Hello. I'm going to sing a song there. Hello. What's it? The Simon and Garfunkel. Sound of Silence. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I was going to sing hello, bad chart, my old friend, or whatever. Anyway, what else do we have here? Ice Tana down again. Let's have a look at Ice Tana. I think this was up a lot over a few days and has gone down over a few days. Oh yeah, I'm wondering if we're starting to see maybe, maybe it has decreased a fair bit. So that's 3 big down days in a row for Istana, and that's it. And Dateline resources all over the place. And European lithium up a lot yesterday, down a lot today. And sometimes you do see this when a share price of a company goes up big one day, the next day it will go down, and that's the time to buy. I've done that in the past because you can see what happened. Yeah, sometimes when you see this rally and then goes down, but this is on the back. Usually I do that on the back of a breakout. I wouldn't consider this a breakout. So if you go back to, was it Dateline? No, it wasn't Dateline. Oh, sort of, yeah, it's sort of Dateline. See this massive rally, and then it goes down the next day. So Dateline went up 200% one day, and then went down 18.5% next day. And you buy at the end of trading that day, and then the next day share price of Dateline went up 68%. So I have done that in the past, but I don't do it anymore. And maybe I should do that, or maybe I should do more research on that because I maybe am letting bias get in the way of the truth, because it seems like that is maybe a strategy to work. The share price goes up and then down one day. For some reason, I'm thinking that can be a successful strategy, but it may not be. May not be. I should do some research on it. Okay. Top losers by market cap. And we have gold, EBR Systems, gold, silver, silver, something else. Mayer Resources, no idea. Tevan up a lot yesterday, down a lot today. And that's it. Got to take a drink. And that means we're on to the top 5 stocks of the day. You know, I did not take a drink at all. I bought some raspberry cordial. There's this apple and raspberry cordial, which I actually don't mind, but the raspberry cordial just yeah. But I have to drink it because I bought it. So anyway, so top 5 stocks of the day. Not a lot of choice today, I will admit, but enough in there in the ASX announcement today to have a top 5. So we'll start off with Syrah Resources, share price up 5.77%. They did stop their mining because of some issues. I forget what issues they were, like protesting or something like that. And they're back to production at Blama. I'm trying to remember what this issue was. How long ago was it? A few months ago? Maybe even more than that. Can't be that long ago. That's November. Where is it? Oh, Balama site access restored. Where's this announcement saying they had stopped mining because of something? I can't find it. There we go. I actually did have an issue with ComSec this morning with announcements. Mika Metals couple raising announcements did not show up. They only showed up on my system until mid-afternoon, which was really weird. So initially I did miss those announcements because they did not show up. So I have seen on occasion problems with Mika Metals. Anyway, or not Mika Metals, with ComSec announcements. Anyway, so Syrah Resources back to production. Now, the problem with Syrah Resources is they are burning through lots and lots of cash. Now, if we won't look at it April. We'll have a look at the most recent full. Sorry. We have a look at the most recent quarter that I know they had full production. So, for instance, this particular quarter, $8.5 million of receipts, and they were operating cash flow negative by $19.2 million. So I want to like Syrah Resources because they're graphite, but I need to see some forward momentum in their whatever, in their cash flowness. I don't know what you call it, but I need to see something of note. I need to see something from this company, and I'm yet to see that something. And I think the market is thinking likewise, because the share price has dropped a fair bit over the last few years. When I say a fair bit, I mean a fair bit. But in saying all that, you can see that share price has dropped from a high of about 270 back in November 2022 down to 27 cents. So share price has dropped 90% in a fairly short period of time, like just under 3 years, which is a short period of time for a share price to drop 90%. But I think the downtrend has come to an end. I'm pretty confident in saying the downtrend has come to an end. And the share price has pulled back a fair bit from the most recent high. And I'm wondering if this is a time to think about maybe trading Syrah Resources, because we've definitely seen at least a start of a consolidation period. If not, maybe the share price can move into an uptrend. The one thing that would be keeping me away is just the lack of volume. Not seeing really big volume, so no one is excited in this company just yet. So keep that on the sidelines for now. Coming in number 4, we have Highcom. A little bit biased with this one. I do own a few shares in Highcom. I've owned shares for many. I keep forgetting I own shares in this one. I bought shares in Highcom many years ago. It's in my super. Many years ago, and I just keep forgetting I own shares in it. I actually do like the chart for this one. Anyway, they sort of moved production from, I think it was South Australia to somewhere in the United States, and their XT clave successfully recommissioned. That's in Ohio. I'm pretty sure it's Ohio for some reason. Yeah. The XT clave system has been successfully recommissioned at Highcom's Columbus, Ohio, home of Ohio State University. Boo, Buckeyes, boo. Facility, so Ohio State University won the College Football National Championship last year. Boo. Anyway, facility system capacity has been significantly enhanced with output now doubled. Production of existing product lines is scheduled to recommence in first quarter. A new product line is under development with commercial release targeted for the end of quarter 2, financial year 26. Now, the big surprise with Highcom was they were profitable last half year. It actually did surprise me. I did not expect that from this company. The other good thing about Highcom right now, they are small. This is a small company. So markup 20 million. Are they up to 20 million? Yeah, 24.64 million. So they are fairly small. They're profitable. There's a chance they could have a really good half year, full year, where they have $8-9 million of profit. There's a chance they do have that because they've done it in the past. But their receipts, their revenue can be quite lumpy because they sell armor. They also sell some drone stuff as well, but primarily armor, if I believe. Anyway, the chart does look really interesting. And I was thinking to myself, well, I own a few shares of this, not a lot, which is why I keep forgetting I own some. Should I take a trading position in this? Because I do like this chart. They did release something really bad in February 2024. And if I remember correctly, the board became really proactive. It was something about, I forget, it was really bad results. I forget exactly what. But the board was really proactive, and they immediately fired the CEO and put someone else in charge. And that was it. Share price has gone sideways ever since. We've seen the share price try to rally twice, and I'm thinking this is the rally to start the new potential uptrend. The thing that would really confirm this new uptrend would be a nice little contract win. So Highcom management, if you're watching, and if you have a little bit of a contract win announcement on the side, release it now. I think you'll see some wonderful things with the chart. Anyway, not that I am saying you should do that, because I think pretty sure that's would be a no-no. If you have the news, you should release it as soon as possible. Wink, wink. Okay, coming in at number 3, we have KMD Brands. Oh, share price only down 3.8%. Sort of understand that, yeah. KMD Brands trading update. So New Zealand-based company. They own Kathmandu. So this used to be called Kathmandu. Then they bought Rip Curl. They also bought Oboz shoes, which I know about now. Why do I know Oboz shoes now? Well, I do have 2 pairs of hiking shoes. One pair I bought 12 years ago. It was to hike in the wintertime in the Alps. I forgot I had them. And then I bought another pair to hike in America 7 years ago. And I thought, I'm going to have to buy some new pairs. At least one pair, maybe two. And I've just been going through the best hiking boots. And Oboz, on occasion, does pop up as being a brand you can buy, but it's not among the top. So Solomon, what's the other one? Solomon, there was another one. Oh, I can't believe Solomon. There was a really nice Solomon hiking. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent here because if I forget something, I always have to know. Solomon. Merrill was Merrill, but best. I've just put hiking boots in my other computer and just came up with Solomon's. But there's another one I'd never heard of. And there's Oboz. Yeah, Oboz popped up. But there's another one that I'd never heard of before. And this is really sounded really good. A lot of these sites, Hoka. I've never heard of Hoka, but there's some really positive buzz out there with Hoka. And the other one was, the one I really liked was, there was a Solomon, Solomon, I did write it down. No, you don't care about this. Anyway, the whole point of me saying this, I knew Oboz was something to do with shoes, but I did not know they manufactured hiking shoes. But yeah, that's Oboz. Anyway, so they released a trading update today, KMD Brands. And Rip Curl doing okay, up 0.4%, financial year 25 year to date. Unfortunately, Kathmandu's down 1%, and the second half financial year 25 down 6.4%. Oboz down 4.1% for the year. Now, the reason Kathmandu can have a really good period or down period is dependent on temperature, because they sell a lot of winter gear. So that's one thing I don't like about Kathmandu. They're primarily about winter gear. And that's important because if you have a look at their Kathmandu commentary here, weekly sales have shown marked volatility over the past 4 months. Unseasonably warm weather in Australia had a material adverse effect on the insulation product category, whilst Kathmandu achieved sales growth year-on-year in other product categories, such as rainwear, fleece, knits, and footwear. The recent change to cooler weather in both New Zealand and Australia has reignited sales momentum. So you can just see temperature has an impact on Kathmandu. Probably has an impact on Rip Curl as well, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so I thought this was a slightly negative update. And I suppose share price down 3.77% is slightly negative, and the chart is slightly negative, if that's being underly dramatic, because it's more than slightly negative, I can tell you that much. It's an ugly chart, and share price just keeps on falling. I've tried to trade this in the past. Right here, here it is, this little section here. I thought, oh, this looks pretty good. Exactly what I'm looking for. I think it was right on this day, 18th of May 2023, and it didn't last. That trade did not last long, I can tell you that much. So it's very important to have an exit strategy for when your trades turn against you. And in this case, I probably would have sold at a small loss, and the share price has gone down 60, 70% since then, and just keeps on dropping. So the chart looks pretty ugly. And the whole reason this is at number 3 is because there's a trading update and not much else was released of note. Okay, coming in at number 2, originally the stock of the day is Aurelia Metals. Share price down 29.51%. Okay. For full disclosure purposes, I bought some shares in Aurelia Metals today, just after open. Here's the story. Here's my story on Aurelia Metals. So I did see their announcement. So they had a sort of guidance outlook for financial year 27-28. I don't know this company all that well. I had a look at it and went, there was a few things I was like, whatever. I didn't think it was that good or that bad. noticed this. They have projects in or near Cobar. In fact, I think they call it Cobar something, or Great Cobar. That's right, Great Cobar. That's in New South Wales. I know exactly where that is. Very close to Aries Resources and Polymetals and maybe someone else in that area. So it's like a copper region. Anyway, so they're not a pure gold play. In fact, if you have a look at their guidance of gold production and their outlook, gold production is actually going down, but copper going up, zinc going up, and lead going up. So not a pure a gold play. So they are diversified. The one thing that had me going, is their operating costs significantly increasing in financial year 26 and going into financial year 27, 28. But they are expecting production to increase, although gold's going down. So I was a little bit wondering, that's a big increase in operating costs. They did mention, however, if I can find it here somewhere, there's a reason behind that. And it's not all negative, because the way they view operating costs, I think it's for Federation. So Federation is zero in financial year 25, then $70, $80 million in financial year 26. It's just the way they view operating costs. It just changes. They did mention it somewhere in here. I can't remember where. Oh, here it is. Federation operating costs, which were treated as growth capital in financial year 25, are now included in operating costs. So that could be a good explanation. Okay, so capital costs as well, going up. I think it was going up next year, but then going down. I also like that they separated sustaining capital and growth capital, because those are very important. If all their capital costs are just going towards growth, that's exciting. If all their capital costs are just going to sustaining, that's actually negative. Anyway, so I didn't have a really big opinion of this one. I didn't think it was that negative or that positive. And then at 10:13 a.m., yes, 10:13 a.m., 10:13 a.m., I know exactly what time this was, because I looked at my watch and I went, nothing much was released today. And what I did is, this is what I do some mornings. What I do is I just go to ComSec site and I go, just hover the mouse over the T code, and you can see how the share price has gone up or down at the start of trading, or at that point in time. So KMD Brands down 1.89%. I'm just going through these fairly quickly, just looking to see if any company had gone up or down significantly. And I got to Aurelia Metals, there it is. And Homeco Daily REIT was up a little bit. I went, okay. And then I got to Aurelia Metals and I saw it down 33%. I went, whoa, hello. I had no idea why. I went to Hot Copper. Yes, I went to Hot Copper, trying to get an explanation. And there was a lot of, what's going on here? Oh, this is a great buying opportunity. Now, I tried to really ignore any obvious bullish or obviously bearish posts. And we did see that. So we saw a few really bearish, like, oh, it's a horrible company, that sort of thing. But we saw a lot of posts saying, what a wonderful buying opportunity. I ignore those posts. I want information. Why is the share price down? And there was a few there saying maybe the costs were a little bit higher than expected. That's about it. And I was just thinking, I think this could be a bit of an overreaction from the market. And I have not done this very often, where on the spur of a moment, I've just taken a position in a company. So I bought some shares at 20 cents. That's it. Well, remains to be seen if that's a good thing or bad thing. Okay, so let's have a look at the chart. So it took me about 1 minute to see the share price down, have a look at Hot Copper, and then take a position. 1 minute. So a lot can happen in 1 minute. The other thing I did actually have a look was a chart. And the one thing that stood out to me, there was a nice little, it had a nice little sort of, I don't know what you call it. There was a couple of resistance and support levels, one at 22 cents, another one at 20 cents. That's why I took a position at 20 cents, because there was a nice little support level at that price. And I did see a fair bit of buying coming in at that price. And the low of the day was actually only 19.5 cents. Really big volume coming in, but this could be the definition of a trend killer. So I would probably suggest stay away from trend killer events or possible trend killer events. This could be one. So this could be a massive mistake on my part. But I just thought, I didn't see anything significantly negative in there. I still understand completely why the share price is down by, or was down by more than 34%. So the share price Well, by the way, I'm already up almost 10%, but who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. But there is a good thing. The share price did rally. The low was on open or near open. Funny enough, yeah, we've got times here. So 10:13 was when the share price did hit 20 cents. So funny enough, I first saw this when the share price had actually hit almost at its low. And the share price went sideways for about 20 minutes and then rallied and hasn't gone back down. Got as high as 23.5 cents. Oh, I wish I knew that. Anyway, so that's Aurelia Metals. I still don't absolutely understand why the share price was down today. Okay, and the stock of the day is, I can't even tell you what the name is. ATX, I know they did go. Amplia Therapeutics. I don't know anything about this company until today. I don't think I've looked at it. I am assuming this is a story stock, but potentially what a story. So let's just confirm it's a story stock. Have a look at the cash flow statements from the Appendix 4C. No cash flow. It's a story stock burning through cash. So why did I have a look at this particular announcement and go, ooh, this is actually really interesting, even though some of the stuff went over my head. So second, complete response in accent pancreatic cancer trial. The first one was released a few days ago on the 16th of June. The share price on that day did rise. So that was sort of the catalyst. And the share price rose a fair bit the next day and then a fair bit the next day. So it's a few really interesting announcements in a few days. I missed the first one, didn't miss this one. It seems like the market, that happened to the market as well. So why am I excited? But it seems like the market might be a little bit more excited than I am. Because I think it's the commentary as well. And it's exciting because I just wish this could change when it comes to cancer treatment. I just wish this was absolutely gonna impact cancer. So second confirmed complete response has been recorded in an accent trial. In advanced pancreatic cancer, a complete response is extremely rare. That's the first bit that got me. This sort of thing is extremely rare. Now that could be an exaggeration from the management. Again, I'm not knowledgeable on this. Okay, so the second patient, the first one might have been just a one-off. The second patient of the 55 patients enrolled in the trial, maybe this is it, has recorded a confirmed complete response. This finding follows the announcement earlier this week of a several patient who achieved a pathological CR in the trial. So some of this goes over my head. A confirmed complete response is a formal designation of response where there is a complete disappearance of all tumor lesions that is maintained for greater than 2 months. That's the thing that I went, ooh, is that what I think it means? Is it? This is a rare outcome in advanced pancreatic cancer where the disease has spread to other parts of the body. For example, the seminal study demonstrating efficacy of the chemotherapies, I'm not even trying to pronounce those, in advanced pancreatic cancer reported only one CR out of 431 patients. They've had 2 so far out of 55, and maybe there's going to be more. The CEO mentioned, he just mentioned how rare it is. This outcome further demonstrates a promising activity namofotinib on top of standard of care is showing in pancreatic cancer. So I went from not knowing this company to be going, ooh, this sounds really, really promising. It is a story stock, so one to put on my radar because it looks like they maybe are in phase 2A trials. I don't know. I haven't gone that far into this company just yet. So I won't be taking a position in this company, but it's definitely one. It's definitely the type of announcement that will raise my awareness, made me realize this company does exist. Let's have a look at the chart. So this chart should look pretty good. This chart should look pretty good. Whoa, look at that. So is this, by the way, just have a look at this. There was a really big volume day on the 15th of May. What was that? 15th of May. We'll go back 3 months. Accent trial achieved superiority over chemotherapy alone. You can see the massive volume on that day, and the share price initially did rise a fair bit, then pulled back. So a lot of resistance on that day. You didn't see the selling coming in today. You see almost the same amount of volume, but today, no selling. Share price kept on rising. So all that resistance has been overcome. The reason I'm saying that is if you go back to August, October of last year, you can see the share price went on a rally back then. So there would have been a lot of shareholders who bought at these higher prices, On the 15th of May, they saw the share price rise and went, oh, now's my opportunity to sell out of this dog stock. Why did I buy into this dog stock? Why? And then they sold on that day. Some sold at 7.2 cents. And I can tell you right now, they're thinking today, well, why did I sell out of this dog stock, or this awesome stock? Not dog stock anymore, awesome stock. And I can almost guarantee you, some of them bought back in today at much higher prices. Because look at that. It's a much more bullish candlestick today than what we saw on the 15th of May. And fun enough, after that, look, the share price just dropped like a rock, back down to where it was. In fact, even lower than what it was. So you can just see the power of these two announcements, the lack of power in the first one and the massive amount of power of this one. So you could say this is a breakout for Amplia Therapeutics. Onto the chart of the day. Kelsian. Did I change it? No. Kelsian. EZ tomorrow. Kelsian. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for. Oh, we got it. Okay, so Kelsian. So I am trading this one. I bought on this little nice day on the 7th of May. You can see, so this was a potential breakout. It wasn't the best looking breakout. It was on positive news. And then the next day, share price dropped 9.7%. So it went up 18% one day, down 9.7% the next day. So you see this a lot. Really good day followed by a negative day, and then you buy in. Anyway, so what is most important about this chart is how the share price, best way to say that, most important thing about this chart is the share price or the price action since those 2 days. Notice the share price hasn't dropped any lower than the low on the next day. So the low on that day was 297, and the lowest it been since then was $3. So that's actually a bullish sign that all those sellers who wanted to sell out more than likely by now have sold out. We saw some really good volume yesterday. And yesterday they did release, was it a contract win or something? Yeah, new contract win. For some reason, the share price only went up 2.53%, but there was pretty big volume coming in. So a lot of trading, and I'd say a lot of those investors who had to get out or wanted to get out, got out yesterday. And today, even though it's much less lower volume, share price was rallied because there's no resistance anymore. No resistance because all those shareholders have gotten out. And now they're going, oh, why did I sell out yesterday? And the whole reason they sold out is because they bought in at much higher prices, and they saw the share price has been rallying. And yesterday there was big volume coming in, and all the shares got gobbled up. And now they're thinking or rethinking their trading strategies because the share price has gone up 10% today. And this is the day I was waiting for. I thought this was going to happen. So a couple of really important things today. So a really good day. Share price up 10.2%. Share price is now at 3-month high. Yep, 3-month high. And we've also got a moving average crossover. So this could be the start of a long-term uptrend for Kelsian. It could also be the start of a short-term uptrend. And this could be the high. This is why you need a trading strategy for every single position. But this is starting to look much better right now for Kelsian Group. Okay, that's all I have for today's video. If you have any questions, any thoughts, leave those in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.